Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is the third film in the Predator franchise. This is Predators, which is actually my favorite. And yeah, shocking. Everybody loves the first Predator. Some people, I think one of my cousins, I remember him telling that he loved, he was a big fan of Danny Glover, so he kind of liked Predator 2, I believe. For me, Predators is my favorite in this movie. Came out in 2010. It's a science fiction action film directed by Nimrod Antal. And like I said, it's the third film in the Predator franchise. And basically, you've got an ensemble cast with Adrian Brody, Topher Grace, Alice Braga, Walter Goggins, Lawrence Fishburne. You've also got Oleg Tartakov, who plays Nikolai, Danny Trejo as Cuchillo, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Louis Ozawa Chanshen as Hanzo. So yeah, um, I think there's not a weak um, performance by any of the people. Um, Lawrence Fishburne even manages to go a little bit crazy in the film, kind of. But yeah, so basically it's these some of these humans find themselves falling into an unfamiliar jungle, and when they're all kind of like killers. So basically, there's a drug cartel enforcer, Cuchillo, Royce, who is basically like a special forces kind of, from U.S. military kind of thing. Um, Russian Alpha Group soldier Nikolai, IDF sniper Isabel, RUF officer Mombasa. Um, oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot to mention that this guy also acts in the movie Mahershala Ali. Before he became a little famous, he plays Mombasa. And San Quentin death row inmate Stans, who had like 2 days before he was supposed to be executed. Chemical, whatever it is. And Yakuza member Hanso, and a physician Edwin. Edwin turns out to be the odd one in the group. They don't really know why he's there. So basically, like I said, Royce is this, played by Adrian Brody, is this black ops soldier turned mercenary kind of situation. So they find themselves in this hot jungle, and after they slowly get themselves introduced, they form this shaky kind of team, and they try to get themselves out. When they reach high ground, they find that, you know, they're not on Earth. This is an alien planet. They see an alien sky. It is probably a moon of an alien planet, and they don't know how they got there. So initially, they were all thinking that they probably landed. They were probably captured and then thrown off a plane with parachutes, but this is a different kind of parachute. And yeah, so and then soon they're attacked by these quadruple alien beasts, kind of like dogs that you would have for when you're chasing out like a wolf or or a fox, not wolf, sorry, like a fox or something. These alien beasts attack them. They're basically like on a game preserve. They're the ones who are being hunted by somebody. They don't know who it is. Cuchillo is the first one who was killed, and his body is actually kept into like a trap. They don't know who they're facing against. They finally find a camp, and they find a captive predator who could capture a predator and tie him up to basically looks like a cross, but not this kind of cross, this kind of cross. And while they're checking to see what there is, they finally the three much larger predators, and they call Tracker, Berserker, and Falconer in this movie. Basically, for the movie, they attack the group. They kill Mombasa as soon as one of them, that spike up him, and then you can see who they are. The others escape, and Isabella tells them after they, land in the water, and then they recoup somewhere else. They find that, Isabella basically says that she kind of recognizes the myth or the story behind these creatures. She told them about the events of the first movie, which happened in Guatemala in 1987, but there was only one single survivor, and he described this creature. So finally, they try to capture the three aliens, but instead they're captured by someone wearing an alien helmet, sorry, a predator helmet, and turns out to be he's U.S. Air Cavalry soldier Roland Noland. That's a funny name, played by Lawrence Fishburne, and he's been on the moon for 10 seasons. So he was also brought onto the moon, but he's been evading them. He's killed a couple of them, but the fact that he's got to fend for himself and he's living a life of solitude, always on the what do you call it? Always basically looking over his shoulders, laying traps for them, making sure that he's not caught, has made him go cuckoo. So he takes them to his hideout, which is basically this kind of like a old ship, and he's been living there. He takes them there. He tells them the predators always hunt in threes. They are basically sharpening their skills. They abduct what they think are worthy prey from other worlds and then bring them to the planet. And he also tells them that there's this blood feud between the big predators, who are called super predators kind of thing, against the smaller, still more deadly ones, and the one that is basically captured, the one that we know mostly. So Royce has an idea that if he frees the captive predator as a show of mercy, friendship, whatever, it will take them home, because they have to have a spaceship. So that's what they plan to do. However, Nolan, while they're all trying to eat some food that Roland has made them, he sneaks off, pretending to sleep, and then he goes and he smokes them, and then hoping that the predators will come capture them and he can kill off the predators. Unfortunately, he is also killed first by one of the predators, and then Nikolai has to sacrifice himself to kill one of the predators and save Edwin. Berserker intercepts the survivors and he starts to kill them, but stands, distracts it, allows himself to be killed so that the others can escape. But Hanzo stays behind. It was one of the finest fight scenes in one of these movies. It's not very long, it's a very short fight scene, but he basically finds one of these samurai swords in Nolan's quarters, because of he's taken it from other people, and he uses that to fight with one of the predator named Falcon, who I dubbed the Falconer, and they have a nice fight, and he manages to kill it, but he also dies from his wounds. So finally, it is just Royce, Isabel, and Edwin, and they run to the predator's camp, hoping to basically let the predator free, the regular predator free. Unfortunately, Royce gets injured by a trap, and then Isabel stays behind with him. Royce leaves them both behind, and then they are caught by the berserker, who puts them in a pit, and he goes back to the camp. However, Royce has already saved the captive predator in exchange for transport to Earth. And the predator activates his ship for him, and puts on its armor, and the ship is on its way to Earth. Royce runs to the ship, but Berserker and our other predator fight, and then our predator is killed, the regular predator is killed, and he destroys the spaceship. And we think that Royce is dead, but he's not dead. He actually came back to help. He had a feeling, so he came back to help Isabel and Edwin. And in the pit, Edwin shows us why he was actually there. He's actually a serial killer, and he actually likes this planet. He wants to, be there and kill off people as much as he can, not worrying about the rest of society. So he paralyzes Isabel using a neurotoxic poison that he found from a plant, and basically he tells her that I'm a serial killer. But then Royce comes in, and before he can attack Royce, Royce turns around and shoves the knife that the poison is into him, and he booby traps him for Berserker, and then Berserker is killed. But they don't have a spaceship, so Royce and Isabel survive, and in the morning they find that there are more predators coming because they see more um, parachutes in the distance on this planet. So they think they have to get into the jungle, try to find some way to get out of. They don't show that happening, of course. The movie ends with them just trying to go into the jungle. We don't know what happens to them. I wish they had a sequel to this particular movie, but they kind of abandoned it, and thus ends the movie. It was made on a budget of $40 million. The movie made 127.2 at the box office. I think it got mixed reviews. Like I said, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Yeah, so released on Blu-ray and DVD. I think it's got a lot of sales with the DVD and Blu-ray. But yeah, that's basically it for Predators. And yeah, like I said, I wish they would come up with a sequel someday. But it's been 14 years. Anyway, that's it for me from Predators. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's my favorite Predators movie. Thank you. Good night.